Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're exploring something genuinely fascinating. We are taking the dense, ancient wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, and transforming it into a highly visual topographical map of the human head. Seriously, this might just change how you look at your next bad hair day.
Okay, let's dive into this. In the modern Western world, we usually just assume that losing our hair or going gray is purely a matter of genetics, right? Or just getting older. So we buy topical shampoos, expensive serums, and scalp scrubs, all trying to fix the outside. But TCM flips that entirely on its head. What if your changing hairline is actually an internal SOS? What if your body's trying to send you a direct, urgent message about your internal organs?
To understand this, we have to start with a foundational concept, and that is hair is the surplus of blood. In TCM, the growth, strength, and luster of your hair rely directly on the abundance of your internal blood and vital energy, which is known as qi. Think of your hair kind of like the warning lights on your car's dashboard. When the internal engine is running perfectly and has plenty of oil, or in this case, blood, the surplus goes directly to nourishing the hair. But when the engine is depleted, well, the body's smart. It prioritizes the vital organs to keep you alive, quietly cutting off the supply to the hair. Here is our roadmap for today. First, hair as a mirror of organ health. Second, decoding 5 hair loss maps. Third, finding corresponding herbal remedies. Fourth, the philosophy of natural health. And fifth, listening to your body's true voice. Section 1. Hair as a mirror of organ health. Section 2. Decoding 5 hair loss maps. Now, I want you to take a quick mental inventory of your own hair right now. Where exactly is your hairline receding? Or where are those gray spots popping up? In traditional Chinese medicine, the human head is never viewed in isolation. It is actually a highly dynamic direct reflection of our internal organs and the invisible energy pathways, called meridians, that flow through our bodies. And this brilliantly illustrates how we can map the geography of the head directly to hidden internal culprits. The temples? Those connect to the liver and gallbladder. The crown is tied to the liver. The forehead relates to the spleen and stomach. The back of the head maps to the kidneys and bladder. And your whole head overall is a reflection of your overall qi and blood. Let's break these down, starting with the liver. Think about the universal dread of finding that first gray hair at your temples. If you have premature graying or fragile hair specifically at the temples, maybe along with irritability, a red face, and a bitter taste in your mouth, TCM actually calls this excessive liver fire. It's essentially your emotional anger and chronic stress literally flaring up as fire. Now contrast that with liver blood deficiency, which targets the crown, or the very top of your head. Here, the hair gets thin, dry, and easily broken, often accompanied by insomnia, dizziness, and a pale complexion. So basically, intense anger scorches the temples, while poor rest and poor nourishment starve the crown. Moving to the front of the head, a receding hairline at the forehead points directly to spleen and stomach weakness. The spleen is responsible for transforming the food we eat into vital nutrients. Think about our modern diets for a second. The late-night snacking, the rushed meals at our desks. If your digestion is weak from poor diet or stress, showing up as bloating, poor appetite, loose stools, or general fatigue, your body simply isn't generating the resources needed to keep that frontal hairline lush and healthy. The soil is effectively depleted. Now, at the back of the head, we find the pathway for the kidney and bladder meridians. And what is truly profound here is the ancient biological connection between the kidneys, the hair, and the bones. TCM teaches that kidney essence deficiency causes thinning, soft hair, and premature graying specifically at the back of the head. But pay attention to the systemic symptoms that go along with this: lower back and knee weakness, ringing in the ears, memory loss, frequent nighttime urination, and get this, even loose teeth. TCM teaches that the kidneys govern the bones and teeth are considered the surplus of bone. So a depletion here affects the back of your head, your skeletal strength, and even your dental health all at once. Wild, right?
Finally, what if the thinning isn't in one specific geographic zone? What if your hair is just generally dry, dull, and falling out evenly across the whole head? Well, this points to qi and blood deficiency. It's a systemic depletion of the body's overall vital energy. This isn't localized to one specific meridian. It's an overall lack of resources, almost always accompanied by chronic fatigue, shortness of breath, palpitations, and a pale face. It's your body telling you that the entire system is running on empty.
Section 3. Finding corresponding herbal remedies. So the crucial point in TCM is treating the root internal cause, not just the scalp. You aren't just treating the hair, you are restoring the entire internal ecosystem. And traditional texts reference specific, targeted remedies for these exact imbalances. For example, Chaihu Shuganwan is historically used to soothe that excessive liver fire burning at the temples. To nourish the blood when you're experiencing crown thinning, the texts point to Yang Shui Sheng Fa Wan. Spleen and stomach weakness affecting the forehead calls for Ren Shen Zhen Pi Wan to rebuild digestive strength. For kidney essence deficiency at the back of the head, there's Kibo Meiran Dun. And for overall systemic qi and blood deficiency, the classic Shiquan Dabu Wan is referenced to deeply replenish the body's reserves.
Section 4. Philosophy of Natural Health. Taking a step back from clinical remedies for a moment, there is a beautiful, grounding idea in the Chicken Coop Wisdom source text. It notes that health preservation isn't just in the prescription, it's also in the mother hen's instinct to protect her chicks, in the 4 seasons, and in the relationship between people and the land. It's a vital reminder that just popping an herbal pill isn't enough. True wellness requires fundamentally aligning our lives with nature.
So, how do we take that abstract natural philosophy and turn it into practical, everyday steps? The sources give us a clear roadmap. First, align your daily routines with the 4 seasons. You shouldn't live the same hyperactive way in the freezing winter as you do in the heat of summer. Second, maintain regular eating habits so your spleen isn't overworked trying to process heavy, irregular meals late at night. Third, actively manage your emotions and stress. Remember, unmanaged anger literally flares up as liver fire that scorches your temples. And fourth, ensure you get sufficient rest. You can't just power through exhaustion with caffeine. You need actual deep sleep to nourish and rebuild that precious liver blood.
Section 5. Listening to your body's true voice. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent, right? They are constantly flashing dashboard warning lights if we just pay attention. But remember, the TCM insights we've explored today are for cultural learning and reference. Everyone's constitution is completely unique. If your body is sending you signals through your hair, seek out a qualified traditional Chinese medicine practitioner or healthcare professional to get a personalized, accurate diagnosis. Don't try to guess your own internal weather. Get an expert guide to help you read the map.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Next time you look in the mirror to brush your hair, or when you notice a new gray strand or a shifting hairline, I want you to look a little deeper. Ask yourself, what is your hair trying to tell you about your life? Is it asking for more rest, less stress, better nourishment? Your body is talking. Now you have the map to start listening. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep listening to your body, and I'll see you next time.